Hey there, I'm Tori and welcome to Bee Hive, the whole home decorating channel. The idea for this episode was actually germinated by my sister, who asked me what tools and products every DIYer should have in their toolbox. And although I will cover those very briefly, I also wanted to cover the 5 obscure products that every DIYer should have in their toolbox. If you're brand new to DIYing, there are a couple of things that you're going to want to pick up. You're going to want a drill, glue gun, clamps, various adhesives like epoxy, command strips, painter's tape, wood glue, a tape measure, a level, and a stud finder. That is your basic DIY decorator kit. But over my decade of DIY decorating, I've also found a bunch of extra products and tools that have saved me a whole heap of time, energy, and money. All of these products have made my life infinitely easier, so of course I'm going to share them with you. And as always, they are all linked down below in the description box. Number 1 is a contour gauge. In 2018, we were selling our house and we'd already lost a whole ton of money, and the bathroom tile was cracking. We needed to replace it with something just to sell the house, but we didn't want to make a huge investment. So I picked up some peel and stick tile and started laying it. And it was great for the corners that were square, but for things like the rounded edge of the toilet, it was an absolute nightmare. So I picked up one of these. The blue spindles will mold to any shape that you put against it. Then you can take the contour gauge, put it on the material that you're using, trace it, and then make a custom cut fitting. Believe me when I say just in your own time's worth, this thing is worth buying. Product number 2 is a thing called Peak. My dad found a 120-year-old brass hammered tray at a flea market. He did a little bit of research and found out that if it was polished up, it was actually worth about $4,000. So he tried a bunch of metal polishing products on the brass tray, and Peak was by far the winner. It brought the tray back to life. Whenever he goes over to anyone's house, he tries to find metal things to polish up now. On Christmas Eve, we were about to sit down to Christmas dinner, and he was sitting there polishing our vintage 1960s children's chairs. Product number 3 are no-cut gloves. Now, I kept cutting myself during DIYs, and my mom recommended that I use fish gutting gloves. I personally find regular work gloves very sweaty and not very malleable. What I love about these ones is that you get the dexterity, it's also breathable, and they're no-cut. Number 4 is a handle-pull drill guide. In our first house, we had to switch out all of the handles in our kitchen because the ones that we had were completely dated. Now, this was an absolute nightmare. Trying to measure everything, keep the exact distances, and then screwing everything in afterwards, it just was such a huge time and money suck. I was able to find this drill guide. What you can do is you can line up your handle with the drill guide so that you can find the perfect spacing. One quick tip here is to take a dry erase marker and mark the guide where you want your handles to go. Then you can take either the middle one or the edge one. Make a tiny mark where you want your handles to go and then drill there. Product number 5 is an electronic measurer. I was introduced to this by a real estate agent when we sold our last house. We had added a basement and didn't have any of the measurements for any of the walls. So rather than taking a 50-foot measuring tape, having one person go on one side and then dragging it all the way to the other side, she used this little gadget, pressed 2 buttons, and then had the measurement for the wall. Once you push the buttons, a laser hits the other wall and gives you the measurement. You can easily switch from imperial to metric by pushing an extra button. I still love my measuring tape for small projects, but anything a room size or larger will get a much more accurate result with an electronic measurer. These 5 tools and products are not an all-encompassing list of the best obscure DIY tools. If you have extra ones that you'd like to let me know about, I'd love to hear about them in the comment section down below. I'll be doing an extra video on this in the future, and we'll feature some of your suggestions in that video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell if you want to see more videos like this. Be you, be real, and beautify your life.